The story begins with a couple of men working on a dock when a train passes in the middle of the night with smoke pumping out of its exhaust. A police officer is seen gazing upon working ladies of the night inside Gotham City's Gaiety Girls Club. The owner introduces the next dancer, Ivy the plant lady, later known as Poison Ivy. Ivy starts to dance seductively and the crowd cheers her on when the men suddenly tell Ivy to take her clothes off. Later, Ivy walks out of a club when she notices a suspicious man is following her. She thought of running away, but suddenly felt comfortable around him when she looked at him. She then starts flirting with him and asks if he wants to spend the night. She tells him that her place isn't far when he suddenly pulls a knife on her. The scene shifts to 3 children trying to mug an elderly couple. It turns out that these were Dick, Jason, and Tim before they were adopted as Robins. Tim hesitates to rob the couple, but their handler, Bill, suddenly emerges from the shadows and threatens the boys to do as they are told. Fearing for their life, they follow Bill and mug the couple when Batman shows up and tells them to run home while he beats up Bill. Dick tells him they're orphans and don't have a home. He explains that it's useless as Bill will find them again and force them to do whatever he tells them to do. Batman reassures them that it won't happen again and instructs them to go to an orphanage run by a nun named Sister Leslie while they suddenly hear Ivy scream from a distance. The mystery man instantly stabs Ivy until she dies. He then closes his briefcase and walks away as if nothing happened. Batman and the boys go to check it out, but they are already too late as Ivy's been stabbed multiple times, and the mystery assailant has disappeared. With the rise in crime, Mayor Tolliver unveiled their newest lamp, hoping it would deter crimes in dark alleyways. Harvey Dent tried to crack a joke, but the mayor continued by introducing a giant Ferris wheel, which he claims to rival the Eiffel Tower. The citizens worry that the amusement ride would be unsafe, but Dr. Hugo Strange assures them of their safety as they have taken every safety precaution when building it. While the mayor and Dr. Strange convince the people of its safety, Selina Kyle, aka the Catwoman, interrupts them and diverts their attention to the increasing number of murders of women. She claims that despite the number of murdered women, their esteemed police force has done nothing to stop it. Police officer Harvey Bullock speaks up with the raised concern and assures them that the murdered women were nothing but prostitutes who are living on the streets. In response, Police Commissioner James Gordon reassures Selina and the rest of the citizens that they are investigating the matter and will find the mysterious killer. Sister Leslie tells them that the killer goes by Jack the Ripper. Turns out that Jack has sent his name and his intentions to the Gotham Gazette, warning everyone of his intentions and how he plans to continue killing until he's caught. Sister Leslie implies that the police are not doing everything they can until it involves a woman of high status. With everyone involved in a heated argument, Bruce Wayne shows up and stops the bickering. Police officer Bullock tries to get rid of Sister Leslie for protesting, but Bruce stops him. Bruce, Gordon, and Sister Leslie ride on a carriage being handled by Alfred. They discuss the recent events of murders committed by Jack the Ripper. Leslie tells Bruce that Pamela was its latest victim, but Bruce already knew. Later that night, Selina is seen walking the streets alone, and Jack has been following her since then. It turns out that she has acted as bait and lures him into a trap. She enters a meat factory where slabs of cow carcasses hang on hooks. Jack attacks Selina, and a fight between them erupts. Jack manages to overpower Selina, but Batman suddenly shows up, also following Selina earlier that night. Jack overpowers Batman, but Selina comes to help him. Batman accidentally trips the trap door, allowing Jack to escape. Selina's furious at him for interfering with her trap that she berates Batman. Following the failed attempt to capture Jack the Ripper, it appears that he has found yet another target. He follows her to a dark alley when Police Commissioner Gordon suddenly wakes up from the nightmare. He dreams that his wife Barbara is Jack's target and finds her in the kitchen making breakfast. Relieved it was just a dream, Gordon goes outside for a breather. When Batman suddenly ambushes him, Batman proposes they exchange information, and although Gordon is hesitant at first, he reluctantly agrees, hoping it will help catch the killer faster. Furious at him for finding him at his home, he nags at Batman to never return to his house, but he's already gone. At Wayne Manor, Alfred informs Bruce of his appointment with Harvey Dent. They went to a theater where Selina was the leading act. After a bedazzling performance, Harvey claims that he might be in love with Selina, which Bruce reminds him he is married already. Harvey explains it wouldn't hurt his wife if she didn't know. They later go backstage to commend Selena for a splendid performance. She starts flirting with them, but her attention is more focused on Bruce, which Harvey dislikes, so he insults Selena. Bruce asks him to stop so they can move on with their evening. Bruce later invites Selena to the club, but there is one problem: the club is only for men. Despite that, Selena managed to get inside dressed as a man. Harvey had already passed out on the couch, so Bruce and Selena had time to themselves. Selena claims that the doorman was either blind or scared to lose his job, seeing that he let her in without question. Selena interrupts their conversation, claiming that he hasn't really been drinking his liquor. She explains that she noticed he was pouring it down and that she knows he had been observing her, which he admits. Selena reveals that Sister Leslie raised her as an orphan, much like Bruce when he lost his parents. Bruce doesn't want to talk about it and walks away. Sister Leslie was locking up for the night at the orphanage when she was greeted by an elderly woman named Marlene. Leslie tried to show her in when she notices a presence. She goes to the graveyard to check it out. Bruce arrives at the orphanage and finds the gates are locked. Jack suddenly confronts Sister Leslie, who tells him that he knows of his identity and that she is prepared to die. Sister Leslie screams at the top of her lungs, so Bruce checks it out, only to find her lifeless body, late yet again to save her. Bruce returns to the manor, torn up after witnessing yet another murder, and is unable to do anything about it. Alfred pours liquor for him when Bruce suddenly disappears. He later finds himself at the Batcave examining a badge from the crime scene that he found near Sister Leslie's body. Bruce claims that he will share the results with the police per the agreement he had with Gordon. Alfred advises him to rest to attend Sister Leslie's burial in the morning. The next day, it was a rainy morning as they lay Sister Leslie's body to rest. After the memorial service, Bruce is confronted by Dr. Strange as he's about to leave. He asks Bruce to tell Batman to meet him later that night at Arkham, suggesting that he knows Bruce has connections to Batman. Bruce tried to deny what he was insinuating, but Dr. Strange assumed he knew Batman. The old lady Marlene also confronts Bruce, claiming that she saw him that night when Leslie was murdered and thought that he might be Jack the Ripper. She tries to blackmail him, but she refuses and is seen taken away by the police. At the manor, Jason tries to steal some food from Alfred, but he catches him red-handed. Dick asks him to forgive Jason as he was just driven by hunger. Alfred tells them that if they want to eat, then he may have some work for them. Later that night, Dr. Strange patiently waits for Batman at Arkham Asylum, but Jack arrives instead. At the time, he did not know he was Jack, so he welcomed him to Arkham. It wasn't until he pulled out a knife that he realized he was Jack the Ripper. Batman arrives to hear Dr. Strange yelling. When he got inside, he saw Jack toss him into the pit where the deranged inmates were. Jack runs away and Batman gives chase while Strange is just getting assaulted by the inmates. The Arkham workers discover the situation and sound the alarm. Jack escapes to a blimp and drops the pilot inside. Batman chases after him, but the Arkham workers shoot at him, and one of them gets a lucky shot at him. Although bleeding, Batman catches up to the blimp and confronts Jack. Their fighting caused the blimp to catch on fire, and it crashes to the ground. Batman safely makes it out, but now the police are after him. The police are ferociously chasing Batman, almost catching him until he removes his costume. Bruce tries to hide in plain sight by blending in with the public when a carriage appears before him. Selena tells him to get checking inside. When they open the carriage, they find Bruce and Selena naked, pretending to be in the middle of something. The police apologize for interrupting them, but are later alarmed when they find another victim. They see the body of Marlene under a bridge with her throat slit open. The next day, Selena and Bruce spend the night at a hotel when the police suddenly bust in to arrest Bruce. It turns out that Harvey has been building a case against him after they received incriminating evidence that suggests that he is Jack the Ripper. The evidence all points to Bruce. A recent victim, Ivy, came from the same orphanage as Bruce. The badge was seen near Leslie's body, and Marlene was witnessed extorting him for money. Bruce is immediately sent to prison after a court hearing to wait for his trial. Selena visits him in prison and suggests revealing to Police Commissioner Gordon that he is Batman, given that he was working on the crime scenes. When Bruce refuses, Selena claims that if he will not save himself, she will by telling Gordon everything. He tried to reason with her, but she wouldn't listen. After Selena leaves, Bruce panics at what Selena might do that he bribes a guard to pass a note to his butler Alfred when he's released from his cell for dinner. Although he initially refused, he was later won over when Bruce gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. Meanwhile, Bruce saw the other prisoners fighting and thought of an idea. He walks up to the biggest guy in the room to create a commotion. A prison riot erupted, and Bruce managed to slip through and escape. The Robins later drop a box per Alfred's instructions, where Batman tells them they did a good job and asks them to return to Alfred. Batman later arrives at Gordon's house, where Barbara, his wife, greets him. She tells him that Gordon isn't there, but Batman accidentally discovers Gordon's secret room and reveals a dark secret. It turns out that Gordon is Jack the Ripper all along. Barbara tries to attack Batman to defend his husband, but she fails. Barbara later reveals the other side of her face where it was burned with acid. Realizing that Gordon is the killer, he worries that Selena is in grave danger and rushes to find her. Selena arrives at the police station, but Harvey's there and is still reminded of how he got rejected that he starts insulting her. He eventually tells her that Gordon is by the Ferris wheel. She meets Gordon, who reveals that he is Jack the Ripper. He tried to kill her, but she manages to ward him off for a bit. Albeit bleeding from the attack, she wipes her blood on a lamp and turns it on, which looks like a bat signal from afar. Batman arrives in the nick of time before Gordon is about to kill her. After an intense exchange of blows, Batman cuffs Gordon to the railing. When they thought they finally caught the killer, Gordon returned and set himself on fire. Selena helps Batman when Alfred and the boys show up to help them. As they drive away in a carriage, Batman and Selena look back and are saddened by the destruction of the Ferris wheel. Robin claims they can always make a new one, to which Bruce and Selena look at each other and smile. The end. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap that bell icon to be notified about our latest videos. We'll see you next time.